Breaking news and a big loss in court for Team Delulu. Literally minutes ago, Judge Lyman in New York ruled on the Wayfarer party's request to squash subpoenas, and they got a big win.
Breaking news, Justin Baldoni just got a big win, meaning Blake Lively got a big...
Blake Lively, once hailed as the internet's golden girl, has seen her carefully crafted image with Ryan Reynolds take a major blow. A recent court victory by Justin Baldoni revealed a side of Blake the public never expected. Her attempt to gain sympathy backfired, leading to widespread backlash and a damaged reputation. Instead of support, her narrative collapsed under scrutiny. Now, with the truth exposed, the once adored power couple faces relentless criticism and, this time, charm and polish won't be enough to save them.
They got a big win, not a unilateral win, because the goddess of gaslighting did score a narrow victory as well. Hair care professional wanted all of this information for an over 2-year period. Judge Lyman continues, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and cell site information. On February 14th, the Wayfarer parties moved to squash the subpoenas as overly broad and invasive.
This wasn't just a misunderstanding or a rough patch in Blake Lively's career, it was a full-blown power grab. Lively, once seen as Hollywood royalty, tried to steamroll an entire film production, acting as if she held unchecked authority. What began as a passion project for director Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer Studios quickly spiraled into chaos. All thanks to Blake's relentless push to seize creative control. Behind the scenes, she pulled every trick in the book: backdoor negotiations, pressure tactics, and blatant interference in a desperate bid to dictate the film's direction. But in a shocking twist, the same moves she used to sideline Baldoni have now left her cornered in court. The legal battle has laid bare the extent of her behind-the-scenes takeover, and Hollywood is devouring every detail from day one. Blake wasn't content with just being the lead actress. Armed only with a vanity title as executive producer, she bulldozed her way into major creative decisions, plunging the entire production into disarray. This wasn't casual and reportedly rewrote large sections of the script, controlled costume design, and clashed with the editor, creating an atmosphere so toxic it nearly derailed the entire film. But she didn't stop there. Lively took things even further by replacing the seasoned professionals Baldoni had hired with her own handpicked team, a new composer, wardrobe designer, and editor. What was intended to be a collaborative project became a one-woman operation, leaving the studio scrambling to regain control while she acted as if she owned the production. Then came the career-killing misstep. In a move so reckless it stunned industry insiders, Blake screened an unapproved rough cut of the unfinished film at a literary event while it was still in the editing phase. That unauthorized showing not only broke trust with the studio, but also served as the final straw, thrusting her into a legal and public relations nightmare.
Congratulations. The movie was amazing.
Thank you.
There were tears in the audience.
Amazing.
I heard there were even tears on set. And Colleen, this story is so personal to you. Tell me why Blake and Brandon were the ones.
Blake Lively's unauthorized screening of the film blindsided Wayfarer Studios, and the fallout was immediate and explosive. Not only was this a massive breach of protocol, it directly defied the studio's explicit orders. It wasn't just was a blatant violation of industry standards that shook her reputation to its core. In Hollywood, early film cuts are guarded like state secrets, especially on high-stakes projects. But Blake ignored every rule, bypassing the formal approval process entirely. This wasn't a minor misstep, it was a move that sabotaged the studio's entire distribution strategy. Her decision set off a chain reaction that left insiders stunned and sparked panic behind the scenes. In doing so, she handed Justin Baldoni the ultimate legal weapon. With undeniable proof of her reckless interference, he had exactly what he needed to shift the legal battle in his favor. But Blake didn't retreat. Instead of opting for damage control, she went on the offensive, launching a full-scale counterattack. What was once a behind-the-scenes conflict had now exploded into a full-blown scandal, dragging her once polished image through the mud for all of Hollywood to witness.
But also, you guys, Colleen Hoover just reactivated her Instagram account, and she has apparently deleted all of the photos with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' school teacher, has just reached out to me. Plus, there has been movement in their court case. She asked him herself. Initially, he was just getting involved with this project because of the book, but then she asked him herself to play Ryle in the movie. And things were great until Blake Lively, right? We actually had, and I think we're still trying to pull it in, this old clip of her discussing how amazing Justin Baldoni was, because he didn't just want to take on this book project, but it was important for him to understand the readers and the fans of the book, what it was that they adored about these characters, because he didn't want to disappoint them when he brought this to life. Chris, were we able to pull that in? We can show it later if not.
Blake Lively's legal and PR nightmare has spiraled into a full-blown Hollywood scandal, one that's left her once golden image in tatters. In a desperate bid to control the narrative, Lively allegedly went straight to the New York Times, leaking damaging insider details in an obvious attempt to smear director Justin Baldoni and paint herself as the real victim. The timing was far from coincidental. The bombshell article dropped just as the lawsuit against her was heating up, an apparent move to sway public opinion before things could worsen in court. But the plan backfired spectacularly. Instead of garnering sympathy, the leak only deepened skepticism around her actions. When it came time to face the judge, Lively found herself with zero legal traction. Her team's first move, a plea for a gag order to silence Baldoni's powerhouse attorney, Brian Friedman, was swiftly denied. The court didn't even entertain the idea, leaving Friedman free to publicly dismantle her narrative piece by piece. And that was just the beginning. Lively then attempted to avoid a deposition entirely, hoping to sidestep direct questioning from Baldoni's legal team. That request was also denied. The judge ordered her to sit for a sworn deposition, opening the door for even more damaging revelations about her aggressive attempt to seize control of it. Ends with us. Reports suggest she didn't just offer pushed seasoned professionals out, hijacked the creative process, and screened an unauthorized rough cut at a literary event without studio approval. The courtroom defeats kept piling up. With the gag order denied, Brian Friedman was free to speak openly, and he didn't hold back. He labeled Lively's accusations as strategic and dishonest. And with the court's green light, he's now fully empowered to keep tearing her claims apart publicly and relentlessly. Hollywood, always attuned to scandal, has taken notice. Studios aren't just wary, they're actively distancing themselves. And it's not just the lawsuit that's turning heads, it's how she handled it. No studio wants to invest millions into a project only to watch its lead actor stage a behind-the-scenes coup that derails the entire production. And now, things are getting even messier. Ryan Reynolds is officially entangled in the fallout. Long viewed as one of Hollywood's most bankable and beloved stars, Reynolds is now facing scrutiny of his own. Insiders claim he wasn't merely a bystander in this drama, he was allegedly backing Lively's takeover from behind the scenes. Some speculate the couple saw this as a power play, potentially laying the groundwork for a sequel they could fully control. But that quiet influence has now become a liability. Reynolds' previously untouchable reputation is showing cracks as his name gets pulled deeper into the controversy. The failed gag order has become the centerpiece of Lively's unraveling. Filed in early February 2025, her legal team argued that Friedman's public statements were causing irreparable harm to her already crumbling reputation. But on February 19, 2025, the court flatly rejected the motion. The judge's message was clear: Lively couldn't silence the truth, and Friedman would not be muzzled. That ruling gave Baldoni's legal team a green light to go fully public, and they've wasted no time. Friedman has already gone on record calling Lively's tactics manipulative and disingenuous. And with no restrictions in place, he's continuing to expose the inner workings of what he claims was a calculated effort by Lively to seize control of the project. Meanwhile, Lively's attempts to escape direct accountability have failed just as dramatically. On February 15, 2025, her team tried to argue that she shouldn't have to sit for a sworn deposition or move that was swiftly overruled. The court made it clear she would have to answer questions under oath, with Baldoni's attorneys ready to press her on every controversial decision, from creative overreach to contract violations. What was once a private feud over film direction has now exploded into one of Hollywood's most talked about scandals. Blake Lively's every attempt to control the story has only made things worse. The legal setbacks, the botched PR moves, the leaked article all have contributed to a spectacular unraveling of her reputation. And with Brian Friedman unrestrained and Ryan Reynolds now under the microscope, this drama is far from over.
Those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was the actual editor.